Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to click on this video and to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm really glad that you are here. So let's talk about boundaries. Not the barbed wire kind, not the burn the bridge and block their number kind, but the kind that lets you keep your heart open and your energy protected. So many of us were raised to be agreeable, helpful, pleasing. And if you're like me, you probably got really good at taking care of everyone else's comfort and perhaps not so good at taking care of your own. So today we're going to shift that, not by becoming harsh, but by becoming clear. All right. So let's be honest, right? Boundaries have a bad rap. They're seen as confrontational, mean, cold, and honestly, sometimes the word seems a wee bit overused, especially when you don't have like really clear connection to it. And for some of us, boundaries can feel like really confrontational. But the truth is, boundaries are the way love stays healthy. They're how we say, I want to stay connected, and here's what I need for that connection to feel good. So why does it feel so hard? Because many of us were taught to equate discomfort with danger. And we fear that setting a boundary will, cause someone getting upset, someone withdrawing, or someone labeling us as selfish or dramatic. But I want you to know this. A boundary is not a rejection, right? It's an act of self-remembrance. We are not rejecting someone because we set a boundary. So long before your mouth speaks a boundary, your body already knows something is off, right? It might be a tightening in your chest, a twist in your gut, that feeling, or that, ugh, why did I just say yes? Or the feeling of why did I just say yes that shows up later, right? So here's your first gentle tool. Start listening to your no as a sensation. It's not a judgment. It's not a wall. It's just information. And if your body is whispering, this isn't right for me, you don't need a full courtroom argument. You just need a few honest, steady words. You need to just allow yourself, the space. So now let's get practical. So here's a few new ways, and maybe not you to you, right? But here's a few ways to set a safe, loving boundary without over-explaining, apologizing, or shrinking. So you stop and you give yourself a minute and you redirect. I'd love to support you, but I need to check with myself before I say yes. This one buys you some space and it protects your peace. And then there's just the soft no. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm not able to take that on right now. The energy tune in. I'm noticing that I'm feeling overwhelmed. Would it be okay if I just take a step back and circle back another time? And then there's the self-honoring yes or no. There's that doesn't work for me, but here's what I can do. None of these are confrontational. They're just clear. And clarity is kindness. And that kindness is not only to yourself, but to the other person as well. This is the one that gets people stuck. But what if they get upset? Well, let me say something tender but true. Other people's reactions, they don't mean that your boundary is wrong. They just mean they're not used to it yet. And especially if you've never had a boundary with that particular person. And guess what? When you model healthy boundaries, you actually give them permission to do the same. You create a relational field where everyone gets to feel safe. Even if they're not ready, you still get to honor your needs. You're not here to abandon yourself so someone else can stay comfortable. I'm going to say that again. You're not here to abandon yourself so that someone else can stay comfortable. So let's go a little bit deeper for a moment. Every time you set a boundary, you are doing something sacred. You are remembering that your energy is precious. Your body holds wisdom, and your life deserves alignment. You're not being difficult. You're being devoted. You're being devoted to your peace, to your presence, and to your path. Boundaries don't mean you love people less. They mean you love yourself enough to stay whole while loving them. And that, dear one, is the root of all real protection. So try this today. Listen to your body. Give yourself permission to pause and practice one soft sentence that puts your truth into the room gently and clearly. You are not a bad person for needing space. You are a wise one for recognizing where you end and where someone else begins. You are a wise one for recognizing where you end and where someone else begins. If this resonates with you, you might love the video that I did recently on why certain people leave us feeling exhausted and how to stop absorbing their energy. I will put a link to that one below for your ease of finding it. So I hope you subscribe for more soul-rooted protection tools and grounded energy practices and just general, gentle grandmother bear guidance. And if you'd like to, leave a comment if you've ever felt guilty for setting a boundary and how you're learning to change that. I'd love to hear about it. So with love from us all here at Grandmother Bear Protection, until we meet again, bye-bye.